So if you've not seen any of the other videos, I'll do a quick recap. I built a home arcade, got 4 pinballs, a 4-player arcade cabinet, a slot machine, pachinko machine, and I've always wanted, if I had the room, 2 sit-down racing cabinets to play arcade games. Now I know there's the whole sim racing thing, and people take it super seriously, and fair play, that's their hobby. But for me, that I got no interest. I want people to come over, have a couple of beers, sit down, and not have to go, which controls are this and what do I set the ABS at? They just sit down, drive, race, have a beer. 20 minutes later, they're on to something else. So I looked at buying like a Cruis'n USA 2-player cabinet. Biggest problem is things like this is trying to get it in and out of the room. And I also wanted it to fit the space I've got, make it purposely, so it fits the space. You can buy the smallest, well, the lowest end rig you can buy is like a deck chair for $300. It's got a canvas back, and when you change gear and steer and that, the whole thing's wobbly. That's what I didn't want. I want something solid, people can just sit on, play, get up, and I wanted the pedals to adjust back and forward, seat to adjust back and forward, have a steering wheel, pedals, and have the ability to have a manual shifter. I went with Logitech. I know everyone's like, you should get Fanatec. Well, Logitech's the cheapest, $250. Pedals, steering wheel, and then the manual shifter is like $60. Fanatec stuff starts at $1,000, and I'm sure it's way better. But I've got the advantage I've never played a Fanatec setup, or Fanatic, however you want to say it. Never played that setup, so I'm not losing anything. I've never experienced the best, so now I'm happy with lower end. Then I had to look at what I'm going to use as my source. I could buy 2 PCs. I could go play a pair of PlayStations, but I went Xbox S. Simple reason being is a PlayStation, you only allow 1 PlayStation per account. I've already got a PlayStation. I play Sniper Elite on it a lot. So if I keep that PlayStation and add another 2, that means I'm going to end up with 3 subscriptions. It doesn't make sense. The Xbox, you can have 1 subscription and you can game share. So I went Xbox S instead. And all I want to do is download games like Sonic Racing, Wreckfest, that kind of stuff. Stuff that people can just come down to the arcade, they can play pinball, they can sit down and they can play. Now, I've built exactly, and I'll show you in a second, I built exactly what I wanted. I designed it in my head. It's all steel, 16 gauge steel. It's not very thick steel. And then I put timber around it to make it look like an arcade cabinet. I've only built 1 so far. The second one is coming. That's next week's job. Probably got 80, 90 hours in this 1 rig. So it's not a 10-minute thing to knock it up. But it's weird. You build exactly what you want, and then someone you've never met will tell you where you've gone wrong. Oh, no, you should have painted it green because that's my favorite color. Huh? The seat's blue. I wanted a blue rig, and I got the other seat is red. I want a red rig. Or then people say like the dumbest stuff. Well, you know what you should do to make it better? And whatever comes out of their mouth is like the dumbest thing you've ever heard. And you should screw it to the ceiling so people have to sit upside down. So it's like driving on Australia. Yeah, you should do that. You should do that. Huh? I've got exactly what I want because I built it exactly the way I wanted it. It's not the best rig on the planet. I'm not professing to say it's anywhere near the best. Some people's setups are incredible. There's a guy on one of the Facebook groups got full escort interior, the dash, the radio works. He's got air coming out of the vents. I think it's incredible. Mine's nothing like that. I just want to literally sit down, have a beer, Need for Speed or something like that. I'd show you if I can remember where I put the arcade. Where did I put the arcade? So we moved in this house 14 months ago, and this was in here was part of the bedroom. This was part of a huge bathroom, and there was a little tiny square room here. So I knocked all this around and made an arcade. So just quick tour. I got Street Fighter 2 arcade slot machine. I got a 1974 pachinko machine. I got a collection of games controllers throughout the years. I got a hypnotizer behind the door just for fun. They don't really hypnotize me, but might work on someone, I guess. Then I got Funko Pop display. We got a bathroom in there with toilet, basin, and shower. 4-player MAME arcade cabinet. Then I've got 4 real pinballs. These 3 have all been converted to full LED. Now that one came LED. That's a newer one. Ghostbusters. And then I got a feature wall. I wanted a feature wall in here, so I got a collection of games consoles. Just so that people can look at them and say, I had one of them, N64, Nintendo Wii, NES and that, PlayStation 1. And then I've got Toy Story, He-Man, and then I've got dioramas going in here and in there, the Ghostbusters and Turtles, and then Hot Toys at the top each end. And these will all get glass. Again, just stops kids coming in and touching stuff. So let's talk about give you a quick tour of the first arcade cabinet, the racing cabinet. I wanted lights on the bottom just so that it illuminates the floor a bit, and this is all going to get UV reactive carpet. I wanted it to illuminate the floor so people can see where they're walking. I wanted it to be obvious that you can only get in from one side, so the other one will be a mirror of this and you'll walk down the middle. Underneath this is all steel and just wrapped in timber. I wanted no wiring showing, so I've just got car speaker either side. All the wiring runs through the middle. Seat slides back and forward and the back adjusts naturally. That's an Icon Motorsport seat. I think it was about $230. The red one was the same price. My manual shifter. So all this under here is 16 gauge steel, and that's mounted to a 1/4 inch steel plate. So when you move the shifter, the whole thing doesn't wobble. The shifter is solid. Again, the pedals slide back and forward. Underneath that seat is a bass shaker, Dayton Audio bass shaker, and then on the back of the pedals is a puck, so that you get haptic feedback. You can feel the car skidding or whatever through the pedals and through the seat. Logitech steering wheel, handbrake, that's just converted to digital, so it's on or off. Cup holder. Each rig has its own stereo controls. That little switch there is for the lights on the back. I wanted a tray to be able to put the controllers, TV remote and stuff like that. And I wanted everything mounted on the rig, so I didn't want anything touching the wall. So if I want to move this rig from here down to the other end, I can do that, not a problem. So say by no means is this like the most amazing rig on the planet. It's just exactly what I wanted. I wanted a arcade rig which I could play anything from the Xbox series up to modern, and then I can also play main stuff on it, Mario Kart 64, etc. I've added this grab handle the other day because people keep yanking on the wheel to get in and out. So yeah, that's the rig, and I just wanted body panels on it to make it look a bit more arcade-ish, if you like. The blue one is the American rig and the American tag on the back. And then the red one is going to be an English themed one because the shifter will be on the other side. So all of this will be mirrored for the other side. But anyway, let me jump on and give it a spin. Don't tell anyone, but up until this week I've never played an Xbox in my life. I've got various aged friends on, say getting in and out was paramount, it was easy, so you can swing your legs in and out, no problem. So the first thing I found with my Xbox is not every game recognises the steering wheel. There are games that still require you to use the gamepad, like Trackmania Turbo and Burnout, etc., which I didn't know until yesterday. But there is a workaround, so I'm going to look at that. I say I've never played any other racing rigs, so I've got no idea how good or how much better the Fanatec is. But basically, you've got feedback so that when you turn the steering wheel, it self-straightens. There is actually some feedback through the steering wheel. It plays like an arcade game, so you can see how much the steering wheel moves on its own. It's cool. I say this is not high level, like iRacing, hardcore sim people. This is, come here, there's a cup holder for a reason, put a beer in there, drive around on Sonic or whatever. I don't want to be working out damper settings and stuff like that. I literally just want to decide whether I'm going to be a blue hedgehog, or a green turtle or something. I just want to play arcade type stuff. So yeah, I'm super pleased. For how much it cost. say one person thought because I said I'm on a budget that I'm broke, and I'm not. Well, not completely broke. But also people say, "Oh, you're going to build your own?" Well, that sounds like you're trying to save money. There's another rig that's around $1,000. That's probably what I've got in this rig without the steering wheel and the TV and the Xbox. I've probably got $1,000 in it, with steel and timber in the seat. And I say this is a lot more rigid than than what you buy for $1,000. You put together with nuts and bolts. And I say I wanted it so that my friends that are older can get in and out no problem. So yeah, not exactly cutting edge technology, but it's exactly what I wanted.